I would like this. Yeah, I want to take up like that.
Starting now or?
Sorry, I just had to put my something new today. I was trying to do canvas Yeah. I figured all that. There was no, it was just like, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm in focus because I was doing both. So I didn't have a chance to. I'm just in dial this. Yeah. I'm going to take your word here. Here, baby. Okay. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna get started on time. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, I did something new with my slides. So we're gonna probably have to Jimmy right through this for a second, like playing this now. Okay, well, I thought it was gonna be cute and I thought they were gonna move, but they're probably not. So anyway, let's start with bucket fills. Let's start with something good. Tell me something good. Tell me something that you did that you're proud of. Hi. Who went above and beyond? Who did something that you're proud of? We've got lots of good things happening in bold. Anything that you want to say in bold, Justin?
My bucket though would go to Steph. I did an open house at her listing and went great. And
Sweet.
thanks for letting me do it.
Yes.
But she's not here, so she gets no credit.
We'll probably be here soon. Only 3 minutes
She
after.
gets no credit.
No credit.
I take it back.
I'll give a bucket fill to Sandy Reese. If you guys remember, we did like a little pop-up seminar last week where I did the homeownership for millennials seminar.
Yep.
And it was freaking awesome. We had like 50 people here. You guys, insane. I have more heads up. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing is like I'm kind of toying around with this idea. Like, if you guys are coming across the same objections over and over again, like leverage us to facilitate something for you and then just invite your people, right? So that way you can just focus on being there and engage with them. But that was kind of my approach is like our agents are seeing that there's a lot of like millennial buyers or first time home buyers that they can't just get to commit to get, just buy a house, or they're not connecting the dots why it's important. So I was like, well, let me do something and I'll tell my story and I'll talk about the equity that I have in my house and how I got an investment property. And the overall feedback, I was actually really stoked with, like, they loved it. So she had probably 50, I'm not kidding, 50 people there. And by the end of the night, she had about like 11 serious people that were like ready to go. And one of them was ready to go right now. He's like, I got like $80,000 of cash. I'm just sitting on, I don't know what to do with it.
It's called.
Yeah.
Invest in the.
So it worked out
media.
awesome. So if that's something you guys are interested in, like, I'd love to get another millennial one on there. And it was kind of, and I wanted to reframe like first time home buyer to millennials, so. But think about that, if you guys have like any investor ones that we want to do, or if you have any cool ideas, bring it to me, because it was a lot of fun. So I want to give Sandy's bucket, her filler bucket, like Seth came to that one, Ashley came, but she packed that room, so that was awesome.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Very
And that's
creative,
some-
too.
Yeah, and I'm very passionate about like helping develop just like young professionals or the younger generation. So that was fun for me to do it too. Yeah. Any other bucket fills?
What about old professionals? Are you passionate about that too?
Old professionals? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I do your marketing for you. I can help your social media, which is what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes.
Well, yeah, just with being a newbie, you know, Chris and Allison have been super patient with me and just spending any time I need, so that's been awesome.
I'm gonna fill Melissa's bucket. She's a new agent and she already has, you have like $1 million listing coming up, right?
I think so.
$1 million listing, a couple buyers. I mean, you've been in it for like a month and she is just showing us and figuring it out. She's doing amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. You're doing all the right things.
Thanks.
Last week she came in, she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. She had like the deer in the headlights look, and I'm like, girl, you're doing it. Like, this is it. You're baptism by fire, but like, you'll get into a good groove in a couple months and you're already killing it. So I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Anybody else? Okay, well, let's get cruising along. See, let's maybe think of me.
It's totally like you.
Is anybody admitting or do you need?
I'll watch it. I'm admitting right now. Okay, so, guys, birthday's on Thursday. Is everybody signed up? Everybody's going? It's gonna be so much fun. Oh shoot, it's not, see, freaking crap. This is what happens when I try to do something new. So we are gonna be doing it at the zoo, and, they have, requested that you guys just wear something comfortable. Wear tennis shoes, bring sunscreen. We checked the weather. It is gonna be sunny on that day, so we'll be good to go. I would definitely bring a hoodie. It might be kind of chilly in the morning. We are gonna be starting our project at 8. So we're asking everybody to be there between like 7:30, 7:45, please. Because we want to get started on time. And I'll send out an email with some instructions with like all the logistics, but if you guys have been to the zoo or haven't, you got the zoo facility itself, and then across the street, there's a parking lot to the north of the zoo. They're asking that everybody parks in that north parking lot. You can't miss it. So please make sure that you park there when you get there. We are gonna be bringing a light breakfast. We'll have like probably bagels or muffins or something like that. And then, we're gonna do a very light lunch as well. We're trying to still figure that out, maybe just like some Uncrustables and fruit or something like that, but the thought process is, I'm like this close. I think I'm gonna get us all comped tickets to go to the zoo or into the zoo after we're done. So if you wanna stay and hang out and go to the zoo, you can get lunch at the actual cafe if you wanna do that, if you want like a nice meal. But they're also opening up a new exhibit that day too, so it's gonna be like a big party that day, so I'm excited that we're doing that. Red Day shirts should be here. If you guys already have one, just wear the one that you already have, or a red shirt, doesn't matter. But I'm super excited for this, and the news is gonna be there too, so we're gonna get some good coverage. Any questions on Red Day? Are you guys excited about this? I'm excited. It's like Disneyland, but when you don't have kids. Okay, and then, I would love to do some bold takeaways from yesterday. I think I have like a bold crush on Steven. He is a stud. He's the coolest dude. And he's so relatable and personable. I love him. But what was your takeaway from yesterday? Did you guys take away anything in particular? Dalton, Haley, Justin?
Acknowledge, validate, and ask a powerful question.
Acknowledge, validate, and ask a powerful question. Give more context.
In conversations, it's important to listen, and it's important they know you're listening. That's the way you listen, demonstrate you're listening, and then go another layer deep or keep the conversation moving. It's just a nice structured tool to the conversation that you're already in.
Totally. We did a fun exercise just to kind of like put that whole concept into practice where we got into groups and we had to ask each other, we had to go around in circles and ask each other open-ended questions. It couldn't, that were specific to real estate. It couldn't be yes or no questions. So if it was like, you know, what are your top 3 favorite places that you move to right now? Instead of, do you have a down payment to buy a house? It's not yes and no, it's trying to get them to talk more, because the person who's asking the questions and powerful questions is the person that's in control of the conversation. So I love fun exercises to kind of see it really in play, and it kind of really helped it click to make you pay attention to the type of questions that you're asking with your people. Thanks, Alton. Did you guys have anything you want to add from yesterday?
Mine was the exercise that we did about leading each other through the process. It just, after when we were talking about it, I'm like, oh, like we lined up and paired with someone, the buyer closed their eyes, the agent would like walk them through the room and through all the obstacles. And it was just interesting that after the fact, I'm like, oh, like I could have like done a piggyback ride or held onto his shoulders and he led me through, and like just different ways. And so we need to be asking how they want the experience to be for them. Like, do they want to know everything? Do they not want to know everything? Obviously there's lines there too, but
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was the analogy of blindly leading people through the room, and do they know where they're going? Are you communicating with them? Or are you like a super competitive person that just shows up and then just says, we're just gonna go through, get this done real quick, and then you don't really say anything? And it's the analogy of putting your people through the transaction as well. Like, yes, this is what we do every single day, and we might not necessarily think about like communicating the details because this is just what we do, but are we taking the time to step back and explain the process with them instead of just showing up one day and then just dragging them through the transaction? Are we taking the time to explain the whole process to them and making it an experience? That was a lot of fun too. I was wondering where that was going in the beginning. I was like, this is kind of dumb. But then at the end, I was like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. That's actually really cool. But there are some more dumb exercises in bold. No more like throwing money at you. So happy. Cool. Anything else?
You didn't like when they threw money?
You know, I could be on a poll for that if I wanted to do that. Moving on. There's other ways that I want to make money. Okay, Mr. Kenneth Avery, we have a little broke moment. You'll come on up, my guy.
How are we, everybody? Good?
Lovely.
Pass these out, please.
And this thing is up for that too.
Okay, great. So, there's been an update on the NAR lawsuit. And I'm passing out the timeline for that lawsuit. So this is as of Friday. This is the latest information that we have on it. So the thing I wanted to highlight in this meeting is that the start date has moved to August 17th. If you remember prior, it was July. So, and I think this date will be pretty good. I don't know as if this will move a lot because we're in the final stages of getting the lawsuit approved, and none of the terms have changed of the settlement. So in other words, you still have to have a buyer broker agreement on your first meeting with the buyer. The MLS is still not going to be able to advertise commission. So none of that has changed. So over the next 100 days, we're going to be doing a lot of trainings here locally. We'll be giving you how the MLS is going to treat the commission. I do believe that they're coming up with a way to be able to still advertise the commission and not call it commission on the MLS. One of the options that was thrown out is putting it on a line, because we use a line now for scheduling our showings, but that's not possible because a line is owned by the MLS. So by nature, it's an extension of the MLS. So that's not going to be an option. So we'll put that to bed right now.
What about agent remarks? I mean,
It's still on the
Still on the
MLS.
MLS. And what are you gonna call it? You can't call it commission. The word commission can't show up on the MLS. So
VAC.
what does the C stand for? Commission. Okay, so anyway, nice try. Nice try, but that's not gonna work. But I do believe that they've come up with an option to do it. They're working on it, they're testing it. They're running it by the NAR to see if the NAR believes that that's the way it would be done. And as soon as we have word on that, we'll get back with you. But I'm
hopefully
very,
the NAR attorney is gonna get paid, because I mean, this is about the most ridiculous ever. I mean, like, a lot of these things we have to put in place we've had it in place since I've been a real estate agent here in Utah. I mean, we've always had to have a buyer broker agreement.
Well, we're taking a step backwards, actually.
Yeah.
You know, it's less formal now than it was and less specific than it was. So, yeah, I mean, for anybody in the industry, we see this as a step backwards from where we've been doing real estate. But unfortunately, states like Missouri, where the lawsuit was filed, this is light years for them to catch up with the rest of us. So, yeah, anyway, that's enough said on that. I just wanted to point out that August 17th is the new date. And so we're going to be working as your brokerage and as your brokers to spin you up on what the lawsuit entails. And like I just mentioned, it really hasn't changed. The details haven't changed as to what's going to be part of that lawsuit. But if it does, we'll let you know. Okay, and we'll bring you up to the speed on the latest and greatest. But plan on August 17th at this point. That could change again, but they're saying that they feel like that's a pretty solid date on the lawsuit. Any general questions on that? I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with the details and stuff.
Do you think that's gonna be the date that nationwide, the BBC will be removed off any and every?
Yeah, so if you read 17, it says, this is the date that the new NER MLS policy takes effect to implement practices and changes. So that means that all the MLSs that are part of the lawsuit, those that are voluntary and those that are mandatory, need to implement that change. And then deadline for realtors, MLS to implement policy changes pursuant to the mandatory NAR policy. So yes, that is the date the policy goes into effect.
So we'll need to make sure by then that we already have either an addendum that you guys have drafted for our listing agreements. Because that compensation, otherwise it's gonna have to be canceled and renewed as a new one on the new document.
So the UAR is taking care of all of the documents, because all of the documents are produced by the forms committee. And so that's where we're gonna be getting our forms. Now, if there's something that we need to implement ourselves specifically, like for example, the mobile home contract and paperwork, will do that, but 90% of our forms are gonna come from the UAR. Because they're gonna implement the changes.
Sorry, if we already have a listing agreement, but it's like not quite listed yet. So are they gonna prepare? I don't want to get a new listing agreement. I just want to add an addendum correcting it.
We could do that if you, but if you have one that goes into effect after August 17th.
Okay.
Right, but I'm just saying, sorry, not going on a rabbit hole,
Oh.
but because things will be changing, just be sure that everyone is talking very clearly with themselves. Don't do anything right now. They're getting ready to sign and or once it goes into effect, the last thing you want to do is be caught in the middle of the timing and have not prepared a seller that I'm gonna have you re-sign something, whether it's simply an addendum or amendment to the listing agreement, understanding that they know that BBC will go away regardless of what they are putting on there now. So that they understand, we're gonna have this conversation again, and we're gonna have paperwork. to sign.
Yeah,
So
because
don't
right
go
now,
past over that date, listings in effect, and have yourself not covered.
it's on the MLS. Right now, we're calling it commission. It's on the MLS. After August 17th, we can't call it that, so we're gonna have to change the terminology on our agreements.
Compensation.
Yes,
We'll call it
compensation.
compensation.
But we know it's not gonna actually happen August 17th because we know how lawyers and attorneys have paid
No,
billable
that's-
hours. So you know it's gonna get pushed back till probably September or October.
No, because it's July, so it has to be done now by August, or they're really.
They'll drag it out. They'll drag it out.
So anyway, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yep.
I fully expected that this wouldn't be implemented till the end of the year, but obviously this came out Friday. This is them saying, here is what we have negotiated to this point. And so we're informing you that it's August 17th. So our job as your brokers and as your brokerage is to prepare you for that. And the UAR is going to be preparing forms and the MLS is going to be working on strategies. And so all of that is going to come together in the next 100 days to make this smooth for each of you. That's the bottom line. We got you. So don't worry about that part of it. Then just the other thing is I wanted to talk about earnest money releases. When you need your earnest money released from a transaction, we ask that you give us 2 business days to release that to you. A lot of times we can get it done sooner than that, but we've had several situations this last week where agents want it released the same business day. That's a little bit difficult for us because of how we're set up. So please, please, please give us 2 business days. So that means that if you are aware today that you need your earnest money, we're going to release that on Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is going to be the day that we are obligated to get you your earnest money back. Okay, if we can do it sooner, we will. We often do, but please give us 2 business days to get your earnest money back to you. Okay. All right.
Let's skip it.
Okay, we were gonna do our cultural icon and our production award today, but our recipients were not able to be here,
You wanna
so
see who it was gonna be?
so
Kind of, we gotta go to closing, and I told him, I was like, can we just be here for like the first 10 minutes, and then he had, so.
I mean, what's more important?
yeah,
Yeah.
right. You did the right thing.
It's fine.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for all you do.
Thanks.
Any questions, reach out. I'll give you the most up-to-date information we have, but
Can I throw a broker thought out?
sure.
I'm sure I'm probably not the only one, maybe I am, who probably could use some additional training on the do not call list. I don't know. I bet you if we actually gave everybody a test on it, probably,
I have no idea where.
see, I think there's a lot of us that probably could benefit from training on that. Just my own thought.
Well, it's really important that you guys understand that because through this settlement that Keller Williams did a few years ago, $40 million. That responsibility is now on your shoulders. So you're gonna get sued, not Keller Williams, if you're not doing it appropriate.
And I don't have 40 million.
So, yeah, so it's, what is it? It's $11,000 a fence. Thank you for the right. So it's $11,000 per offense. And, when they start digging, they're just not gonna stop at 1. They're gonna keep digging. It's just like the division of real estate. If they find something amiss in your paperwork with the transaction, do they stop there? Absolutely not. We get requests now for 3 months more files, 6 months more files, a year's worth of files. It creates a logistics nightmare for you and for us, because once they find blood in the water, they're just like sharks. They go after it. So we have a couple of situations right now where it's just absolutely overwhelming the amount of paperwork they want. The same is true with the federal government. They're gonna dig and dig and dig until they've made it worth their while. That's gonna be big dollars. So yes, we can do some training. Thank you for bringing that up. We'll help spin you up. Maybe next sales meeting, we'll have a special training on it. But it is very important because of those things that I just mentioned.
I think you just have to watch out who your lead sources are, you know?
But you're not guaranteed. I mean,
Not their liability, it's yours.
Yeah.
even if they screw up, you can still be knocked over.
Yeah.
If you
And
can't,
what
if
I
you don't
learned
show-
is
It's not just, but if you find it a good lead source that they're.
You hope it doesn't, right?
Or, yeah, you just have to market.
They're just gonna say, so you just need to market your SL.
Differently, yeah.
Well, but even that though, if someone registers, that's why my previous question was about, is it just do the do not call list is about texting? No, it's
Yeah.
not. It covers, so that's why I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
so you're
that's
trying
why
to
they're, they, you
It's
know.
alright, if they-
Email, text, phone calls.
But if they respond to text or respond to email or gave you their email, does that exempt them?
Yes, so yeah.
Also, right?
As long as you stay in touch and do your courtesy, but
Anyway,
We need a class, cause now I'm like terrified.
Okay,
that's
so I
why.
think that's a good point. So that's on that same kind of vein. Next week, a week from today for team meeting, Marcus is gonna do his quarter 1 market update. So that's gonna be our big one, so come to that for the market update, but I will also have there be a part in that where we talk about specifically the logistics of do not call, how to scrub it. Like what the rules are, everything like that for that. So if you guys can plan on next week, that's good to go.
There's no way he's gonna be able to, I'm sorry, I'm just being like
Yeah.
down on that, there's no way. I'm sorry, to take time from Marcus that never gets through enough information.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can have him touch on it just so you guys are familiar with it, and then and I'll talk to him about it, if we need to do like an extended session where after team meeting, we sit down for a half hour or do something like that, aside from just the market update. But either way, Tuesday, we'll plan on having something done. Okay, I'll get to the detail and let you know. Okay, feel good? You guys, look, it's my cool cat. You guys look at my cool cat, because we're gonna learn how to market like Gen Z, baby.
It has fur.
I know that's a problem. It kind of reminded me of Prada because she has spots on her, but I don't know. We'll see. When I did that millennials class, by the way, I was trying to figure out how I could break the ice with a bunch of people that I don't know, and I made them look at pictures of my hairless cats. And I'm like, you know how people like show you unsolicited pics of their kids when they're talking about their kids? I was like, you get a look at my hairless cats. So but so I wanted to do a little bit of research. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the playbooks maybe that KW has, but what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna print out a copy of every playbook that we have and put a QR code on it, and this wall right here in the kitchen, I'm gonna hang up a copy of each one of them, so you have access to all of them. But pretty much, KW went through and built out like an operations manual for the most commonly asked questions that agents have. So we've done a training on the playbook for open houses, how to hold a 7th level open house. They've got one for online leads, they've got one for mortgage hacks. There's a newsletter one. But I was going through the social media one, there's actually a lot of really freaking cool content in it. And so I think this would be good for us to do a little bit of a refresher on social media and even just kind of get a different thought or a different lens at kind of how it works and what we want that to look like. But digging into the actual playbook itself, I found a couple other courses that KW has on social media. And so like, come on, guys, she had a baby. Yeah. Sneak up with you guys start. Yeah, good. She's here. But I'll send out you, there's 2 different, workbooks that I found that I thought were really cool, really engaging that I'll send out to you guys after this. At first, I wanted to read this first section of the playbook to you. I think this was it's kind of a good refresher. Like, I think whether you love social media or whether you hate social media or whether you're tech savvy or whether you're not tech savvy, like, we don't have a choice at this point. Like, this is where we're at. This is the reality and this is where we're headed, right? And at the same time, if you're a business, you have to be online. You have to have a strong online presence. And if you're in real estate, I mean, we are our brand, we are our product, right? So we need to be constantly engaged in front of our people and understand how these platforms work. It's also so cheap if you're really utilizing it as to its highest potential. So this summary said, on the 13th anniversary of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg published an open note to all users saying, there are many of us who stand for bringing people together and connecting the world. If that was his intent, it is hard to argue with the success that social media providers have had. According to an article published by Statista in January 2023, 4.76 billion or 59.4% of the world's population are social media users. As the old saying goes, it's easy to go where the people are than to make the people come to you. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. It's easier to go where people are than to make them come to you. Social media allows us to scale a message at little to no cost directly into the feeds of our sphere of influence like never before in marketing and advertising history. Talking about marketing to our SOI, Kaylee. If done with the intention to scale likability, we can be more likable to more people more often. This is important because people do business with people that they like, thus making social media one of the most powerful tools you can use to deeply connect with your sphere of influence. And the next few pages that we go through, I mean, there's a lot of them, is going to talk about reasons why we do that, but I also want to leave you guys with actionable things and some good ideas of how you can really utilize social media to your fullest extent. Who feels like they really nailed it at social media in their business in here?
Sometimes you have to adjust.
Yeah, sometimes. I would say Kaylee is probably pretty high up there. She nailed it. Yes. And that's the thing, is like, you guys aren't alone. I mean, in my conversations with agents, there are, I would say probably 75% of office, honestly, who doesn't feel like they really have a dialed in social media presence. And my hope by going through this is to help you guys kind of start thinking about it differently, but show you ways that you can leverage social media, because yeah, it's a lot of freaking work. And there are a lot of tools that you can use to save time and money in the meantime. So, sorry about my presentation. Okay, I wanted to share this stat with you guys. And this is specifically for business itself, but it says 45% of businesses have seen reduced marketing costs due to social media. So keep that into consideration as you guys are spending money on your advertising. Are you getting your ROI? Are you getting a return on your dollar? And if you're not, it might be worthwhile looking into doing paid ads through social media or leveraging cheaper options like this that are available to you. 24% of businesses saw an increase in revenue when they utilized social media for lead generation. How would you guys feel if you had a 24% increase in your revenue this year just from social media? Yes.
I think by building yourself a platform on some kind of social media platform, when you do that versus paying for leads, when you do that on a platform, whether you continue or not, it actually continues to go. You know, a lot better than if you stop paying for this lead platform, then it's done. That's it. So
For sure.
yeah.
Well, and I'm a huge believer in building your people deep instead of building them wide. And I believe that with your business, I believe that with your relationships, the deeper that you can go with your people, the farther you're going to get with them. And if you can build deep, meaningful connections, the likelihood of them referring you to more people or hooking you up with people that they know is like night and day difference compared to somebody that you just cold call on the phone and you've met them one time, right? I mean, I think we all have an experience where, like, one time I was door knocking and one of my favorite people on Faces Fun, I met door knocking, which is a very like unique thing. And at the same time, like, this is a huge opportunity because these are people that already know you, they already like you. And naturally, the people that we know, we want to help them, right? And so how can we really harness that and provide value in return? 69% of the public uses some type of social media. And then I thought this was another interesting demographic or a bar graph. These are the demographics of people that are on social media. I think this is obviously a given. Our Gen Zs or our younger millennial generations, 88% of people who are between the ages of 18 and 29 are using social media. And then you can see that the bar graph increases, but I think that this really does speak to something because this is clearly the way of the future, right? This is what the younger generations are doing. And if we're intending on staying in business, if we're in it for the longevity of our business, this is a gold mine, right? If we can understand how to really capitalize on marketing and speaking to these people. And then I thought this was interesting. 73% of users are female and 65% of them are female or no.
Yeah,
It makes complete sense.
And I would say generally they're probably more of a natural connector. I would say
They're a little more.
yes, that's right. Nosy too. Nosy connector, same thing.
Let's call it curious.
Curious, yes. I thought this was cool too, just kind of by community type. 75% of people on social media are urban, so you know, more city vibes. Suburban 69% and rural are 59%. So just kind of giving a little more information as far as who you're talking to, because that's the other piece of this, right? Is knowing your audience, right? Know who your clientele is and meet them where they're at, just like Mark Zuckerberg said. Okay, so one thing I want to start with, you guys, is I think for some people, social media can be a very overwhelming topic, and it feels like you have to know it all and you have to be on all of it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna give you permission right now that you don't have to, okay? But what I am gonna tell you is I'm gonna encourage you guys to pick 1, 2, maybe 3 platforms that you feel like you're really confident in, that you feel like you can dial in, you're good with it, and master those 3. Be consistent with them, know how they work, know how to do ads, and just start with that, okay? You don't need to be on all platforms all the time. But figure out where your audience is and get on those platforms. So for me, I know off the bat, Instagram and Facebook, and probably, I'm not on TikTok, but I should probably be on TikTok. From like my audience is where those people would be, but you know, if you're huge in business to business networking, you're gonna wanna be on Indeed. Facebook is a great way for people to still stay in connection with businesses, so just know who your people are. So that's what I wanna start with, is select the social media strategy that works for you, okay? You don't have to be perfect at all of it. And then you can just kind of build on it over time as you start getting good systems in place. Creating a social media presence for yourself, make sure that you have a business page on your Facebook, on your Instagram, partially so you can separate the business between yourself, and in order to run paid ads, it has to be your business page anyway. So make sure that if you don't have one, that you have a business page. We're gonna talk about creating posting schedules. We're gonna talk about content. We're gonna kind of mastermind around that. And how to select your posts, create drafts, creating a lot of leverage and putting together your social media plan. So the social media prospecting model, I'm sorry, I skipped over that. You've got these 4 S's across the top. So we just talked about select, right? So select your platform, know how to run ads, know how to create drafts, know how to use that platform. The second piece of the S is to seek people, prospect or proactively seek prospects, and who are you going to target? And this is for me something that I keep in mind. Anybody that you meet, you know, always add them on your socials. Like I helped an agent hold an open house a couple weekends ago because the agent who was gonna do it was sick, so I just stepped in real quick. But I met somebody there and I thought it was kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool. There's a buyer that I met at this open house and he followed me on Instagram like 10 minutes after they left. It was kind of kooky weird, but he's been messaging me ever since then. And so now there's a relationship that's there and it's really natural in that way. So keep that in mind, like if you're going to open houses or if you get people's names, look them up on social media after they leave the open house and add them as a friend on Facebook or whatever. I think that also kind of bridges the gaps between the do not call thing, right? Like you've met them, you've communicated with them, you're just connecting with them on socials, and now you've got a pretty consistent reason to be staying in touch with them. And as you consistently post on your story or online, they know who you are. And if you can reinstill that relationship more frequently in the beginning, then they're gonna remember you for forever, right? This guy who followed me on Instagram, had he not messaged me or if he's not engaging with me on socials in a couple months from now, I'm like, who's this guy again? But because we're talking now and we've maintained that communication, that's one thing that really stood out to me. I have these scripts here. I won't read through them necessarily, but there's 2 different scripts on social medias for your messaging. One for the people that you have connected with, and saying, you know, hey, thanks for it was great meeting you. If you know anybody interested in buying or selling a home, let me know. And then captured prospects, people that you who have liked your Facebook page or have recently engaged with you. Here's a script that you can use when reaching out to them to establish that communication between them. I know on here, like Kaylee, she's a big fan of doing birthday messages, right?
Yes, so you're worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but I think that's also like the open-ended question thing, right? That we're talking about Gold yesterday.
Yes, and that was the game changer. This last probably 6 months, I changed it and I like asked if they have any fun plans, and everyone wants to tell you about it. So then you have a conversation.
Yeah. Hey, happy birthday. I hope you're doing well. Hope your day is amazing. Do you have any fun plans? Or what are your plans or what do you have fun that's planned or whatever? And open-ended questions where they have to actually give you a full response instead of yes or no or thanks or whatever, right? So keep that in mind, open-ended questions.
But even if they don't respond to the happy birthdays, you still do it.
So
Because I've had several transactions in the last 3 months that it's like 6 or 7 years of happy birthdays and no responses. And they're like, hey, Kaylee, I want to sell my house. So it worked.
yeah, it's
With-
mind share.
With also seeing all my other posts too.
So that's an easy one. Just wishing somebody happy birthday. Do it, yeah. I actually am in the habit now of checking my Facebook every morning. It's almost before I get out of bed. Who has a birthday today that I need to reach out to?
You need to do it on the day before or day after, not on the actual day.
Because they're getting overloaded.
And then my assistant was like, well, can I just do everything on Sunday? And I'm like, sure, like, I don't care, it's just the touch. So she actually did it on Sunday this week and everyone responded. I think I only had like 4 posts
smart.
respond. So it's just, hey, happy birthday week. And then she gets to be done with the task. And I don't care because it's really just a touch.
Yeah. Yeah, love that.
I like that.
Because nobody's working.
Birthday week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones people celebrate birthday all week.
Mhm.
But especially if they're for the week ahead, what I like when someone's like doing that to me is I wanted to be the first to wish you happy birthday for an early.
Oh, yeah.
So it comes in the week before, but
Yeah.
they're acting as if they were so purposeful.
Mhm.
Yes.
To make sure that they could be the potential first one to wish me an early birthday.
Are you doing that as a message or are you putting it on their wall?
I tried it both ways, cause that was another thing, my assistant's like, well, like, let's get more exposure, I'm like, okay, that's great. But then my grandma had passed away in July, and then my husband's uncle had passed away last year as well, and so then it looked really silly for me to say happy birthday.
When they.
Because it's automated
pass
for
away.
me, yeah. So I like the personal message and then they respond more too. So yes, I like the exposure idea, but the actual conversation piece, so we immediately swap back. and
Yeah,
forth.
I think also like everybody's posting on their wall, everybody is, so it's probably just gonna get diluted in there.
Yeah.
Where if you think about it on your birthday, how many people actually send you a message? I think it's way more intentional. The other two S's are share, so implementing your strategy, we're gonna talk about social media calendars, what to post, when to post it, so I'd write that down, you guys. On Sundays, have that be part of like your planning for the upcoming week, every Sunday, go through your birthdays and wish everybody a happy birthday as part of like your week planning. But we'll talk about what a schedule could look like. Service, communicate systematically and create a follow-up plan, capture and connect with people, funnel leads into your database, nurture and convert, all that stuff we'll talk about.
Is funneling leads, are you gonna show how to do the lead?
Not in this class, no, but we will. Me and you need to do that one. Yes. Okay, so these are 4 primary reasons. This is actually a research study that KW done. For reasons why we love social media for SOI or why people engage with us the most. The first is the reach that you have. So again, like we talked about, 59.3% of the population uses social media. In the US, 82% of the population uses social media. Social posts and paid ads provide you with one of the greatest opportunities to expand your database, and for the most part, it's free if you don't run ads, right? 2 is targeted advertising. So you can do targeted advertising to promote your brand, your listings, potential clients who are likely to respond. Promote listings on a golf course to golf enthusiasts, or a loft downtown near a theater district to musical, like these people who are musicals. You can get very intentional about the demographics and who you're targeting. There's actually a listing that I had a few years ago, and it was in Rose County, and it's in Harriman. And it was listed on 3 acres and it was approved for horse property, but the house was settled up against the mountain. So basically the backyard was just like this big, huge rocky mountain. And so there's not like much that you could actually do with the land. But but when I ran a paid ad for it, I ran an ad to say, okay, what type of person would this house attract? Like somebody who probably has is interested into ATVs or horses or, agriculture or just things like that, like an outdoorsy type person. And that's the type of ad that I ran specific to those people, because I knew it was going to attract a unique type of person. And the person I actually sold that house to, I got from my Facebook ad. So you can be very intentional with who you're putting your money in front of, which I love as well. 3 is your return on investment. Advertising on social media has some of the lowest cost per lead, and it's easy to track the results of your campaigns and ad posts, which is really cool because if you're running $25 on an ad, you can change the verbiage of your message or the artwork of your message based off of the results that each one says. So you could run 2 ads for the same property, but use different verbiage and see which one got more clicks, which one got more views, what did you differently in each one of them, and which one worked better. And then you're just kind of learning and catering what works best for what specific type of property. So it gives you way more control on where your money is going. Also, if you run an ad through Facebook directly, if you're running it through Facebook, they're averaging as a company, it's like $22 to $24 per lead if you run it through Facebook. But if you run it through command, you're averaging only about $2.67 per lead. So I just wanted to throw that there, that if you guys are running paid ads, do it through command, because it's a fraction of cost. The 4th is your engagement. Social media platforms create the opportunity to interact with their audience and build relationships at scale. And it's putting you in front of way more people than you would have ever had the opportunity, right? If people are bragging about people graduating, like, oh my gosh, hey, congratulations, I can't believe you sat through graduation for 6 hours. what did your daughter major in, right? Open-ended questions, because you want people to engage back with you when you're commenting on their posts. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of like the breakdown of what we're gonna go through right now. Using a method on how to create content, on how to post on social media. Running paid ads and how to target your database and just the general public. How to interact, kind of what the etiquette is with interacting with friends and followers. Adding new friends and creating and curating an online group or presence. So the first one that I actually kind of have adopted this already subconsciously in my brain is the like method. So this is something that you can keep in mind because people want to know or work with people that they like. They like, that they know, and that they trust. Okay, so kind of keep this acronym in mind as you're building out content. And like stands for these 4 topics. And these are topics generally that you can either use on rotation or that you want to use when you're posting on social media to keep your presence in front of people as a real estate professional specifically, right? Because you can post too much about yourself and people might forget what you do. You can post too much about real estate and people might not want to follow you because they don't want to see everything real estate. And there's a balance that you want to have between those, and we'll talk about that. So the L in the like method is local lowdown. So this is anything, information about anything that's happening locally in the community. So if there's a specific city that you're super passionate about, like if you know Ogden really well, Ogden has a ton of history, a lot of really cool things. You guys have to tell me if this is true. Sean Janke told me that Ogden has a bad rep because back in the day. Is this true?
Yes, true.
The outcast got sent to Ogden?
Yep.
I did not know.
So their slogan is.
That's so funny.
Ogden still untamed.
Okay, yeah, I knew
That's
that.
their slogan.
I
That's
had
why.
no idea until I moved up here and
There's
then
a couple.
Janke
of
told me that.
jokes, But I don't know what the Sam called.
Okay, fair
It has
enough.
to do with
Fair enough.
the other place, or this is the place. Okay, it's a clean joke, but honestly, since I'm not from Utah, I thought it was the coolest thing. And because back in the day, Ogden was the massive center hub of the railroad.
Right.
So all the traffic and everything, and if you watch the documentary, is really fascinating. However, when everything, okay, it's a clean joke, but it's really cute. You have to say- But there's another meaning, but it's because when we came to the top, it was pitch black. We came down out of the canyon and I flipped out to a military and we thought we were going to like Mountain Home, Idaho, like this tiny. We thought we were kind of like going to Idaho. We come down out of the mountains and I'm from a wicked small town, Hens, Maine, wicked. Anyway, came down out of the mountains and all I could see is far left is far right. And I still can feel it in my jaw right now. My jaw hit the floor and I don't think it came back for hours. It was all lights. I'm freaking out. Anyway, when they come down out of the mountains to Salt Lake, then it's like, if they could read, they went north to Ogden. Because this was like, it's like for directions, it's like Denver and Cheyenne. Cheyenne was supposed to be the massive, massive hub. And later Denver became it. It's kind of the same thing with Salt Lake and Ogden, but sorry, like not.
So you should post about that
It's
online.
really cute.
Just kidding.
It's just, anyway.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much
And
history there is.
the alcohol, and all that.
Yeah.
When-
Like the tunnels, right? There's tunnels in Ogden.
History is wicked amazing.
Yeah.
25th Street, I stayed in them when I moved into town. Oh. I stayed in the Helena Hotel above Lucky's Way for 2 months. Yes, that was a whorehouse. And the richest woman in all of Utah.
She owned it. I think I saw that, yeah.
She was the madam,
Yes.
and they had people from the Union Station who would go under the tunnels, and their
Yeah.
important people would come and stay in these hotels.
There's a lot of history.
It's very.
So, exactly, see, all this stuff, like, there's a lot, like, there's probably stuff that people don't know about. Yeah, yes, be mindful, of course, but post local information, it doesn't have to be just Ogden, right? You could do Farmington, you could do Salt Lake, you could do South Jordan, like, whatever you wanna do at Park City, just cool facts about the area, cause that's really interesting stuff that people are wanting to engage on. You could talk about upcoming community events, there's a bunch of pages on Instagram, and I can't remember one right now, but I will tell you at the end. But there's a cute chick that I follow, and every Friday she posts, here's what's going on this weekend in
The
this city.
Ogdenite?
It's not Ogdenite. But she talks about, here's a new restaurant coming up, here's an activity you could go do, so you could do something like that. If there's school events or, for college interviews with prominent community members, but like you can kind of see an example, like things to do in Austin, Texas, or things to do, the farmer's market, or go to this place to eat or drink. So highlighting just cool things about the area. Were you gonna say something? Yes.
I was just gonna say, like, if you follow those pages that have all those fun things to do, that I feel like that when you tag those pages or you say at or something like that,
Put the link.
it gives you more engagement.
Totally, yep. So if you find another page, share it to your profile, then do a little bit of a blurb if you want. Also, you guys can like, I'm a huge fan of like the rip off and duplicate like tactic, like. If you see a video that somebody else did that you like, do it yourself, recreate it. You don't have to keep recreating content. Like if you found somebody that did something cool about Ogden, just do the same thing. What's the likelihood of you guys crossing paths? Who cares, right?
Just do it better and you're fine.
Okay, so the I and the like methods, information. So share information about the area, and this is specific to real estate stuff. So tips on buying or selling a house, myth about the industry. You could talk about to buy downs, you could do market updates, new listings in the area, top reasons your service is important. So all the I information is everything about you and real estate and like data-based stuff. So L, we've got the local information. I, we've got the real estate information. So the K in the like method is for know me. So this is where people want to work with, again, people that they like, right? So they want to get to know you as a person. What do you like to do on the weekends? Do you have kids? Do you have hairless cats? Like, are you just a loser that hangs out at home on the weekends now, like me? Just kidding. But what do you like to do? Are you reading any cool books? If there's a cool book that you're reading, take a picture of it and share your favorite section about it. Or do you have any fun trips planned? Talk about what trips you're going on, or take pictures while you're on trips. Anything that stood out to you as far as like a powerful quote that you're listed that you've heard, or hobbies. Did you go on a hike in Adams Canyon? Just take pictures and then just post about that, because people want to know that you're real, right? And that you're relatable. Yes, something?
I was agreeing with you, staying at home on the weekends, doing nothing.
That's what I did.
I just forget to take pictures of all of that stuff.
Yeah, I need to get better about pictures too.
I'm finding that I'm having to completely change my entire like Facebook or my entire social media presence, period. Because up till now, it's been a lot about my kids and people want to know about my kids. My kids are teenagers now. And I'm like, you're not on social media.
It's your time now, girl.
And so so if I'm not posting about my kids, then I'm like, oh, now I have to like put my face there.
Yeah.
And that's a little scary.
You got to ease your way into it. And I think that's where this comes into play. So on your business page, there's have you guys heard the 80, well, we know what the 80-20 rule is. We're familiar with that, but there's an 80-20 rule with social media too. Have you guys?
I feel like 80-20 applies to literally everything.
Literally everything, literally.
It's almost annoying how often I get it wrong.
Yep. So the 80-20 rule is essentially, and I would say it flips. So if you're on your personal page, like Eden Wardle's Facebook page, the 80-20 rule is that we want 80% of the content that I post to be personal stuff about me, what I'm doing. People friend me on Facebook because they want to know me, right? And then the 20% of that can be business related, because you still want people to remember that you're in real estate. This is what Jenny does. That cute video that you posted, I think it was yesterday or the day before I watched it, like the fiduciary.
Oh, the fiduciary, I've been trying to run through those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did, that was awesome. I watched it. And because I saw Jenny's face and I'm like, oh, she's so cute. I love Jenny. And then I watched what she had to say. And at the same time, people want to be friends with you on Facebook because of you, not because necessarily you're in real estate, right? So make sure that you have a good balance between that. And on your business profile, though, people like your business page, like my business page is Living Salt Lake. This concept flips because people like your business page because they're specifically interested in what you have to offer as a business. So flip this concept where 80% of what you post on your business page is business related, more stats, more of the local information, the like method, a lot of that stuff will be majority posted on your business page. And then 20% of it still will be personal stuff. So I think what the great thing is about your business page is you can post a video of you at an open house or showing homes or whatever, and that still applies to your 80% of business, right? Because you're still doing the work, you are your brand. And saying, oh, we just had great family pictures, post your family picture and say, use this photographer for any needs. Do like local highlights or talk about things that you're doing as an individual, promote local businesses. Like you did your donut one. I love that. And so I think that's a really cool blend between personal and business. And it's helping others, promoting others too.
I just had a question. So Instagram, we all know is definitely different than Facebook. Do you feel like the approach should be different to Instagram?
I don't think so. Do you? Anybody?
Careful of the squares. You're not used to doing it.
Yeah, like the formatting is different, what you're saying?
They have to be in
No,
squares.
no, not the format.
Oh, no, I meant for her. Like the
Oh,
squares.
my advice is don't overthink it, just do it.
Just- yeah.
Well, and just,
What were you gonna say?
I just feel like it has to be a certain topic or interest. You know, to get that engagement on Instagram. I don't feel like you can use the same thing on the Instagram that you use on Facebook,
Yeah.
same content.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could use the same content. I think if you're wanting to really effectively, like you could use the same content, but the way that you format it is different. Like
Yeah.
Instagram is like really heavy on reels right now.
Mhm.
So you want to do lots of videos, lots of reels to get a lot of engagement on Instagram mostly.
Mhm.
And then you could do like a post, you can still do your reel on Facebook too. And I feel like a post gets a lot of activity too that you can share. Yeah. Does
Okay.
anybody disagree with me? Anybody have thoughts on that?
Well, does
I don't know. I'm just saying from my
My-
experience.
My Facebook page automatically, I have like click the
Yeah.
button where it
Mhm.
automatically goes to Instagram.
Yep.
So do you have to rethink that?
I think the answer to it, because I've never been strategic about Instagram. I post from Instagram and then it goes to Facebook. So I think if you want to master it, I guess, then yes, you need to learn the different ways to be posting on there to get engagement.
Yeah.
What? Who did the social media thing? She's Utah, she's like selling Utah, or what is she? Oh, she's got bracelets. Jessica Boots? No. So, she did the donuts yesterday. About the donuts yesterday.
Jen Simpson.
Okay, so when she did her class, she said. You need to post organically to Instagram and organically to Facebook, because if you don't. Then they don't, they
They
discourage.
won't promote it because it's like, if you walk into Home Depot with your Lowe's baseball cap, it's not like they want to give you a lot of attention.
Yeah,
Did you know the
I
same
tried
company owns, like, Lowe's and Home Depot, the same umbrella company? I learned that just last week, yeah. So it's funny that you said that, but yes, I see your point, yes.
okay, so that click where you like post to one and then automatically post to the other, that's not an organic on both. Meaning that. you
An
have to
individual
organic-
post separately on each platform.
Separately on each, in order to get an engagement and to get up high on the feeds of people,
Yeah,
you have to do them organically
Yeah.
and not have it linked.
what I would do is I would post like what Haley does, if this was me, I would post from Instagram first and then have it go to Facebook. And then on Facebook, also post separately, like you can share other articles to Facebook, there's other things that you can reshare or post that isn't applicable to Instagram. So that's what I would start with, right? Because we don't want to overcomplicate it, we just want to do it. So something's better than nothing in this context, so that's what I would do, is have it synced Instagram to Facebook, and then if you see a cool article that you read, just reshare it to your Facebook wall, and then just start with that. So that way you can kind of get a good feel for it. Were you gonna say something?
No, I agree. I was just gonna say, like, I really wouldn't overcomplicate it or overthink it, like. Cause you're gonna post the same thing on Facebook and Instagram, so why would you waste your time just copying and
Yeah.
pasting that caption? So just let it go to Facebook and let your reels go to Facebook, because influencers are like my generation. And they're posting their TikToks on Facebook Reels and
Mhm.
everything, so just let it all be.
It
the
all
same.
blends together, yeah. Just start with something.
Yeah.
so for clarification, I just wanted to add between talking about Instagram, Facebook, vice versa, whatever, is that I had never had a business page. So what I had to learn is that actually when you have a business page, the Instagram goes to the Facebook business
Mhm.
page, not having anything to do with your personal page. So believe me.
You can tell it where to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes to my
Literally.
personal one. It goes to my personal. Instagram, my Instagram business goes to my
Right,
personal.
it doesn't go, it's not the other way, it's not Facebook goes to
Correct.
Instagram. Instagram, you have to start first to whichever page you're sending it to.
Yes.
And then the only other statistically is just that Facebook still, even though it's older, is still the biggest response and engagement.
It's just a
Facebook,
platform.
and then
You're right.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and then TikTok, so
Yeah.
as far as people deciding where they wanna put their time. Yep. Facebook still first, unless you're doing Instagram, then Instagram goes to Facebook, and then.
I hardly do anything other than posting on Instagram.
Exactly.
I get
Right, goes to
frustrated
Facebook.
because it's not user friendly,
Yeah, exactly.
but Facebook is, but I always post from Instagram.
And that's what I had to learn.
Okay, so then the E in the like method is engaging conversation. So this is again, just thinking open-ended questions. What can we do to make people engage with us? We want people to respond, we want them to send us DMs, whatever that is. So some ideas that you can take polls, like have you guys seen people do this or that? Would you rather have a rural home or a city home? Would you rather have a condo or a farm or whatever? I don't know. Would you rather watch, or what's your favorite movie? Christmas movie, Christmas Vacation or Elf? What's that?
Everyone loves these ones.
Yeah. And it makes them engage with you, right? So you can put a little, like a link in there for them to send you a DM or whatever that is, but you want them to engage with that. So take polls, ask questions like what kind of dogs your followers have, what their favorite candy is. You can make it fun, like International Dog Day or whatever. Post a picture of your dog and then say, send me a picture of your dog, or what kind of dog do you have? I don't know. And then host competitions to pick a winner, do giveaways, you know, somebody just did a giveaway that I heard of that was like and this is way out of park right now, but they were doing enter to win $1,000 worth of spring cleaning for your house, and I guess they had a ton of activity on that one. Do giveaways, you can do lots of fun stuff, but think about what you're doing instead of just branding yourself. How are you getting people to engage back with you? Okay. Cool cat, baby. I got my cool cat everywhere. Okay, so we'll talk about scheduling posts. And I've got a social media calendar that I'm gonna show to you guys too. But this is gonna be a huge leverage. I think Haley's really about just kind of doing it on the fly. Do you just do it on the fly?
My personal, yeah.
On your personal stuff?
And then my
But-
assistant does schedule posts on the business.
Okay, so Command does have a post scheduler, so if you would wanna say every Sunday, part of your getting ready for this upcoming week is I'm gonna go through and send messages to everybody and say happy birthday, what fun plans do you have? And then say, okay, this like Monday through Saturday or Sunday through Sunday, are there any holidays coming up? Like, is there anything big coming down the pipeline? Is there anything else I need to post about? And think, okay, what do I need to post on what day? And then you can just schedule it out. So you take literally an hour of planning on a Sunday to think about your content, create it, post it, and then you don't have to forget it, or you don't have to worry about it for the whole week. You can just forget about it. You could even post up to a whole month in advance if you wanted to. So I would definitely take advantage of scheduling out your posts, but make sure that you time block time specifically for social media. And I would even recommend having like a note in your phone, in your notes app that's like social media ideas. And as you're like having conversations or going to classes, you can just brain dump like little ideas onto that note. So then by the time that Sunday comes up and you need to plan it, you've already got ideas that can kind of start you helping with you, like make a little brain maybe. So, running paid ads, this is not something that we're gonna go in depth in right now, but I will say one of my most requested classes lately is I have an in-depth paid ads class for open houses. And it's going a lot deeper than just creating an ad through Command. It's how can you create more organic reach and kind of spider web your way out into other people's profiles without even like your dollar being reach anymore. It's all organic stuff. So I didn't record that one, so if you guys want that, if you do lots of open houses, let me know, I can send it to you, but I'm gonna get that on the schedule probably at least once a month, pretty recurringly. But with the paid ads that you can do, like I talked about, you can hone in on your demographics. So if you've got a tricky property, if you've got a unique buyer that you're looking for, utilize the demographic feature on Facebook, like what I did with that unique property in Harriman. It really does work. And you're being way more calculated about where your ad or where your money is being spent. You want people to see that it's applicable to rather than just the general public, right? I mean, somebody who's like 70 isn't going to be wanting to see my ad for a millennials and homeownership class, right? So you can be intentional about where that goes. Examples of personal content about you. for a paid ad, I think it's just for paid ads. I don't know what it is. It says specific neighborhoods or zip codes. You can do market highlights or market features in Command, if you guys know that. If we have time at the end, I'm gonna pull up Command, I'm gonna show you guys all this stuff. But Command creates auto-generated videos, so if you wanna pull, stats on Layton, it will make a video that says, here's the average home price in Layton, here's average days on market, it's a cute little video that's branded to you. Clients that have referred business, clients that have bought and sold more than one home.
She's on.
Hey, mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so interacting with your friends and followers. This is more kind of like the etiquette or just a couple tips on when you are commenting with people, how do you want to engage with them? So this says when you comment on a friend's post or story, it's important to be genuine and show interest. Reciprocally, you should always respond to comments from friends on your post. I'm so bad about this. Sometimes people will post it like on my pictures or my comments and I yeah, I need to get better about it. But at least even acknowledge it. Like, even if you don't, if it's just like a, you're awesome type thing, you could do like a clapping emoji or like a hands raised emoji or a heart their comment. Just acknowledge the comment in some sort of way, even if it's just a little, you're great type thing. Commenting does not mean arguing or correcting, rather you are deepening relationships. And in your direct message, choose a few people a week to DM and ask about something they've recently posted or just check in. This is an easy way to get your contacts in. That's another idea for you guys too. Just, I get messages all the time from people. Hey, I just saw that you won the #1 best office in the States. I don't know, I didn't get that, but it could be like, you're like doing awesome or whatever. How's life? Like, acknowledge something that they just experienced, that just posted about, like send them a DM and engage in conversation. How's your life? What's going on? What's new? Because it's all about building the relationship, right? And I believe, and that's gonna segue easier into having the real estate conversation. Hey, I don't know if you know, but I'm with Keller Williams, or I don't know if you know, but I'm in a contest right now, and I'd love to help you, something like that. But here's a couple ideas. Hi, I just saw that your daughter graduated college. I wanted to congratulate you, and I'm sure that you're such a proud mom. This is so exciting. What's next for you guys, or what's next for her if you're moving back to Salt Lake? So a couple different conversation starters. Liking and sharing in combination with commenting, like and share your followers' posts. I think especially if the people that you're friends with have their own business, promote their businesses too. I am all for that. If you've got a friend who is a plumber and they're doing like a spring special, or, you know, drain your water heater or whatever it is, share it and say, this is one of my preferred vendors. I love this company, and promote their company as well. The goal is to interact with 75 people per week, and an interact is a like or a comment or both. So I don't think that's unreasonable. If you get on social media for 15 minutes at lunch and have a goal to like or comment 10 people's stuff, you can totally do that a day, right? If you're on social media and you're doom scrolling, you might as well just make it intentional while you're doing it, right? You can doom scroll and also engage with your people while you're doing it. Any thoughts here? Is this helpful at all so far? Yeah, some ideas I want to share with you guys. This is what I was talking about earlier, following new people. Everybody that you meet, if you meet somebody at a birthday party, at an open house, while you're door knocking, anybody that you can think of, add them on social media. And this suggests to do seven friends per week. There's a equation that it's going to give you at the end. But even if it's 5 a week or 2 a week, whatever that number is for you, set that standard and then just go for that. But I think if we're doing open houses once a week, we're definitely needing at least 5 new people a week, right? And it's nice when you have the face-to-face interactions, like even when you're door knocking with people, if you know what their first and their last name is, you can pretty much find them on social media because you know what their face looks like, right? So it's a great way to follow up. I'm gonna add this on here, but I think that this should be more of like an idea or more of a suggestion. I know that there are some people, like my cool cat on top. Some people have had a lot of really, really good success from this, but there are people who will create like a Facebook group or a specific niche and then invite people to be part of that group. So there's one that I'm a member of that I got invited to, who's this lady, and she like talks about the moon phases and be aware about this with your energy, just kind of like the woo-woo stuff. I'm all for it. But she posts all the time about the different moon phases, like if there's a storm coming in, like be conscientious about your energy about this today. But she sends me messages that says, hey, I'm gonna do a workshop on this, you should come. And I haven't responded to any of them, but I know who she is and I know what she's doing because she's sending me these messages and I'm part of her group. So if there's something that you're really passionate about, like you could create like a small business owners in Layton group. You could create a book club group. You could create a women in business group. I could do like a wealth building for millennials group. If there's something particular that you guys are really passionate about and you feel like you kind of have a good footprint and people that can help you get that group started, there are people who have created an online community, if you will, and then the reach or the events just kind of expand out from that. So then it can start from a group to say, hey, we're gonna go on a hike this Friday at 9 and get everybody out of the group and get them together. So just an idea, if that's something that you are interested in, if that kind of like piques your interest. But this next slide is something to consider if you're wanting to create a community or a group like this. Know your purpose and ensure it's in alignment with your values. So yes, we're in real estate, and is that the point of your group? Because if it's not, that's not what we're wanting to always post about. We want to make sure that we keep it on topic of whatever the group is meant to be for. The name must clearly represent your purpose. I think this is a golden rule just across the board with marketing. Whatever your email subjects are, whatever your group name is, whatever like your header image is on a flyer, it needs to be a very short and concise sentence or 5-6 words that gets the point across to exactly what we're talking about. So millennials and wealth building, right? Or like all the examples I gave you, small business owners in Layton, they know right off the bat exactly what it's for. Find your voice, be authentic, and post consistently. Whether people engage with you or not in your group, you have to be consistent about it. Consistency is key with really anything, but especially with an online community if you want to get good traction. And the more that you're posting, the more obviously you're in front of people's faces. So then they could be like, oh, I'm part of this Facebook group. You should be a member of it. I think you'd actually be really interested. So now people are going to start inviting other people to this Facebook group for you. Yes.
So I just got on Facebook just to see, so I live in Pleasant View, so I looked at Pleasant View small business. And I have to tell you, the AI makes it so much easier because it just said, pretty much there's a Pleasant View city site, a Chamber of Commerce, a small business development center, and small business administration. That's it. And then suggestions on home-based services. Many residents in Pleasant View commute to nearby cities. Making home-based services like pet sitting, lawn care, or childcare in demand. Online businesses with a strong internet connection can start an online business from anywhere in Pleasant View. Local retail or food businesses. Pleasant View is a growing population, making it a great place to start a local retail or food business. Service-based businesses. Businesses like plumbing, electrical work, HVAC services are always in there. What a great little tool to just say,
There you
here's
go, girl.
some suggestions on what you can do.
There's a group for you. Yep.
That you could
Yeah.
create or something.
There was a cool exercise in Bold. If you guys want, I'll give you a copy of it. But it was like there was like 3 pages that it was like a brain dump. What's that?
Rattling.
Oh yeah, brain rattler is what it was called. Where it had every like profession listed, dentist, accountants, cleaner, whatever, and it had it all written out. It's 3 pages long, and you go through, okay, who do I know that is a dentist that I can add to my network? Like it was a cool like brain rattler thing, but that's an idea that you could do too. If there's not a Pleasant View community, small business community, take that brain rattler exercise and say, okay, I'm going to find some of the top ranked dentists. I'm going to find some of the top ranked cleaners, personally reach out to them, say, I'm starting this community. And then you could do kind of like a BNI type spinoff. I think that you're in control of it. So that's an idea. Show value, be responsive, and have a plan when you have these groups. Does having a Facebook group appeal to anybody at all?
Nope.
Like anything like this? It does. Do you have one, or are you just interested in?
Made them, but I'm not like actively pursuing.
You made the groups?
I think it's hard to meet and get traction.
Yeah. So that would be like another thing, like that would be like a subcategory of like your weekly planning for like your overall social media posts or content or whatever. Now, the next piece of that is to say, okay, what are we gonna be posting this week in our group that we have? What's the content? What's the value? What do we want to post? The great thing about that though, especially by being the administrator of a page, is you can schedule out posts on your own groups and on your own pages too. So you can take another hour, or whatever that is, for that group specifically and schedule it out. So that's saving you some time too.
And the food's here, so I'm not the fat kid eating with the little
Yeah.
kid.
I'm so cool. I'm gonna grab food. We're almost done, but yeah, I don't care. We'll grab food.
That makes more sense to me to do that on Instagram,
Like a group.
like to have a specific topic group. Not necessarily, instead of just a group page that's private, you have a topic. It makes more sense to me to have create a second page on Instagram and do that.
I think where the benefit of having a group though is like people can actually engage and like have conversations, make posts, do comments. You can create events within the group, so you can like coordinate like, hey, we're all gonna go do a hike Friday at 9 and create an event within there. And be able to communicate with people better through that than just doing it through Instagram. So I would still do a Facebook group.
Is that what threads are?
I don't really get on things.
Instagram threads,
Yeah.
it's just like a shorter version of Instagram.
Dumb. Yeah, I didn't even look at it. Don't even worry about it. So this is the kind of like a summary of all the recommended touches, 72 or 75 engages, whatever that looks like. The path within the map, so you want to be consistent about this. If you follow that plan that we just talked about, you'll have 520 like posts, 364 new friends, and 3,900 opportunities to engage with friends and followers within your 12-month time frame of building your website or your social media presence. Okay, so be conscientious. Yes, we're all on social media every day, and when you're on it, are you being intentional? Do you have a purpose for why you're on it? And if you're mindlessly scrolling, which I mean we're all guilty of, do you also stop on somebody's post and comment on it, or do you actually like it? Like, do that, but be intentional about the time that you're spending too. Okay. Okay, so these are some ideas that I have for content calendars. This is 2023, but it's fine, it's still applicable because we're in May. So we're what, May 7th? So an example is share your favorite way to relax after work. There's a post idea for you. That's a personal way. Tomorrow could be post a video tour of a neighborhood. If you're holding an open house this weekend, there's a perfect excuse to do that. The next day, what was the last movie that you saw, or what are you excited to see, and tag a friend in it? Like my girlfriend and I, if we're gonna go see like the new Dune or something. So we're so excited to go see the new Dune, tag her in it. Now I'm just posting about that, but now people are gonna see my post on her wall. So get really comfortable with tagging other people, engaging other people on your posts. Share a listing and something unique about the property. Thank a local dentist or orthodontist and tag them. There's an Elton John or Prince one, this or that post. Debunk a misunderstanding about selling a home. I mean, this is your whole week already lined up for you. So
That's cool.
Yep. Anything you want. And it has the local lowdown method with it. So it's integrating LIKE in all of these posts. Here's another one for June. June, like, let's see, June 20th, my birthday, debunk a myth about PMI. The 21st, use a summer solace graphic from Designs and Commands. So all these graphics are already provided for you. Post somewhere to cool off in your area, like a splash pad, or if there's a community pool. Share a story about summer adventure. Share links to like a cool hike that you could go to. What's the type of cookie? Cookie master. So it's really easy. I mean, and this is where I'm saying you can have a whole month planned out, and you can take a day to just schedule it out. So every single post that you saw on that calendar is already scheduled and ready to go. And you don't have to think about it. Okay. Here's a sample posting schedule that I wanted to also provide with you if you want to do the Sunday thing, or the Sunday you're pre-planning for the week. In the morning, you could do a show off your weekend activities if you did something fun. Post like a Monday motivation type thing. I like to be kind of goofy about my Monday motivation. Just like, cats that have like had hair or something, I don't know. Monday night, piece of value, share a great consumer friendly article or how-to video from a quality source not relatable or not related to making a sale. And you could take this same template right here and rinse and repeat it every single week. Just do different content, do different properties, different articles. You can do the exact same thing. So every Thursday, you're sharing your new listing about an open house and include the photo album in it. If you're not holding an open house that weekend, who cares? Still post about an open house being held. okay? Cause it's about the content, it's about the mind share, and if people are seeing open houses all over your social media, they're gonna think that you're busy, whether they go to an open house or not, okay? So if if I know Ashley's doing an open house this weekend, but I'm not, I could totally post that she's not doing an open house and put it on my wall. Because that's a win-win, it's getting everybody traction, okay? Friday, weekend events, what's something that you're gonna do that weekend? Like I went and did the cool candlelight concert. So I could post about going to a candlelight concert. I just did the Adams Canyon hike for the first time ever, that was cool. Snow's all melted, in case you guys wanna go.
Did you go all the way up?
I did. All melted. Sweet.
Not as of
Yeah, did you do it yesterday?
Yeah, so now it's snow again.
Yeah, there's snow again.
Friday afternoon, Friday afternoon.
Not again.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through this, but other ways that you can stand out on social media is if you go live. Going live not only on your personal page, but also on your business page, because when people go live, there's prompts at the top of people's screens. I don't know if you've seen them that says this person's live. So the more that you do that, you're just getting more organic presence in front of people. So get comfortable with going live. I'm also gonna add here, if you guys remember, there are apps that you can download. That's a teleprompter app. So if you're the type of person that gets kind of like confused, like me, like when you're going live or when you're doing a video, like you totally forget about what you're gonna say. You can put your script into the teleprompter, and as you're recording yourself, you just read the teleprompter as you're going through. So you can make sure that it's a concise message, it's clear, and you don't miss anything that you want to say. You can use AI too. Yep, pretty freaky. Post on your stories. I like to do a blend of like videos that made you laugh and funny videos. I actually have a folder in my Instagram that's videos that make me laugh. Save videos that make me laugh, or like cool meal prep things, or like big wins that are going on in people's lives. So post on your stories too, because that's getting you up on top in front of people aside from just your posts. Here's some ideas of what you can share. Neighborhoods, upcoming listings, events. But all of these are all on your stories. We're all familiar with what stories look like, right? These templates are available in Canada Designs too. So there's templates that are formatted for stories, that are formatted for Instagram, that are formatted for Facebook. And you just have to swap it out with whatever content that is applicable to yours. This is a little bit of a recap of everything that just we went over. So boosting your social media presence, again, pick only a couple. If you're comfortable right now with Facebook and Instagram, stick with Facebook and Instagram and just go deep now on that. Understand how ads work, understand the organic posting. If you know Facebook and Instagram, stick with it, okay? And then once you feel like you really got it dialed in, then we can start looking into TikTok. Then we can start looking into Snapchat, but just start with something, okay? Create a business page. So everybody in here, we all need a business page. If you don't know how to do that, let me know. Get involved in groups. Just like we talked about creating your own group, if you have other groups that you want to be part of, engage in those and post in those, because those are more organic ways of you getting in front of people. And be personable. Like I like to post goofy videos or goofy, words. Just like make it real. Try to make your post stand out. Do create a posting schedule. Can you guys see, even just from those calendars, how much easier that's going to be? Because at the end of the day, when it's 10 o'clock at night, the last thing you're going to want to do is figure out what social media post you're going to do for the day. So do that, go live, get creative with your posts, and give more than you get. Come from contribution. Even if you feel like you're posting a crap load, just keep doing it, whether you're getting engagement or not. Pay attention whether you're getting engagement, because that could be feedback on whether you need to change what you're posting. But just be consistent. Here's some more inspiration of stuff that you can post that we have. You can share your mobile home search app. You can post neighborhood snaps. So how you guys can create a neighborhood nurture campaign. You can create a post that's specifically for just a specific area. That's automatically done for you. Post about Red Day coming up. Keller Williams has a blog. I don't know if you guys know that. It's called Outfront. If you go to outfront.kw.com, they post stuff all the time, like KW accolades, why buy your first home, interest rates. They have got a whole blog, and all of that you can just use as your own. Like,
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Outfront,
Okay.
outfront.kw.com. Go on there and like use their post as your own, like whatever. But I'm gonna make sure that everybody in this room makes a promise to me, and we've made it before, and we need like any post that you guys share. If you guys are sharing a link to a property, to a website, everybody in this room, I promise that I will share it from my KW website. I will only share properties from my website. I will only share properties from my website. Because if people, sometimes, and you'll see this now, pay attention, people will post properties that, and they're posting the link from utahrealestate.com, or they're posting the link from Zillow, or everybody in this room has probably done it once. I probably have done it myself. And if you click on it, even if it's a Utah real estate one, if it's not your listing, the listing agent's information is gonna be featured on that listing. So you're basically promoting somebody else's business. If you're posting a link and they say, oh, it's, you know, listed by ABC Realty, now you have potential of those leads, that business going to that listing agent, because that's who's being featured on that website.
Their websites, Zillow.
Correct. Yep.
There, with my clients.
Yep. So if you ever want to highlight a listing, any listing, whether it's yours or somebody else's, I don't care. Go to your website, EdenWorld.com or AshtonSorensen.kb.com, I don't care. Go to your website, search for the property on your website, pull that up, and then use that URL. Because now, whenever you're posting it, people are, first of all, seeing your branding, you're legit, you have your own website, and it's keeping people on your website. So it's keeping you branded to you, and if they want to continue searching for more properties, they're doing it on your website, not somebody else's, okay? Everybody in here, I'm sharing properties from my website.
Did that, but I haven't. Double check it was me and it was still.
That's what we just did too.
Good, and it doesn't even say that it came from me, it says find a KW agent.
Are you on your website or on?
He just sent me the link
Yeah.
from
Find
his,
KW.
Okay, we're gonna look at that.
and it just says listing courtesy, and then at the very bottom where it should have his info says find a KW agent.
Okay. we'll look
And I'm
at that.
logged in.
I wonder if you just don't. I might have a problem is. Cause so you're logged into your KW app as you like you created a profile, it's probably not branded to you though, or is it?
Should be.
And you're going in through
Click
your
like
consumer.
your
app, so I have to
Yeah.
go out
There's a
and
different
click
place
on
that you need to share it
and
from.
come back in.
Say
with
branded.
one, so it would even say me. So I'm like, oh my God, why is this not saying me anymore?
Yes.
Well, I need help because I just posted 2 of the Utah real estate links this
Okay.
morning.
Yeah, because it's like my personal thing, it says my name.
Okay. So let's look at this app thing, but I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. You've got, if you go to your website,
I have it up on mine and it works, it has my information and stuff. Like,
who has a listing right now?
I do.
What's the address?
131 West, 100.
65660.
Sorry, if you beat your phone?
Yep.
Okay, so let's pretend that this is my listing. I
Does
went to
anyone
my
have a buyer? Let's
website,
get it sold.
my website. And even though this is Kaylee's listing, you've got my information here.
So then you would use that link.
Yes. So if you want to ever post, hey, check out this property, copy this URL right here. Because now it's gonna take them to your website, it has your branding, everything on it. They can scroll through the photos. They've got all the information that the MLS will give to them, any other website, property description, whatever. But it is directing all traffic to go back to you.
So did you go originally to your website or
Yep.
to
My
your
website.
consumer? app?
Nope, my website. So the app, we gotta look at the app. We gotta figure out what's going
Or
on.
we just need to save a.
But in this situation, go to your website.
I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah, save your homepage right now, your website as like a app on your home screen. And then just share it directly from that. But everybody should have your own website. If you don't know how to access it, let me know. Also, Scott Leroy Marketing, they'll add additional pages for you if you guys want to. So they'll add like a mortgage calculator page. They'll add like a what's my homework page. Like if there's additional pages, just email them. We'll do it for you.
So from this point, so you wanna make that your quarter, right? When you want to put it in an ad.
In an ad, yes, but if you're just doing it on Facebook, you don't have to do it, because if you post a link on a post, you know how it generates the image underneath it. You don't have to do it if it's just a post. If it's an ad, yes. How are we on time? Okay, we did this exercise yesterday in bold, and I want us to do this right now. If you were in bold yesterday, I want you to either find somebody else's business in here, or let's find Coach Stevens' page, his business, I think is Apex Realty in Phoenix. And let's leave him the page for a review. But is everybody here? Look at my cool cat.
Are you just the coolest?
He's a little cool cat.
How many people?
What's that?
People don't like
I
cats.
don't really like cats either, unless they're Sphinx cats. I want us to real quickly go on to Google right now and look for our office. Look for KW Success Keller Williams Realty. And I want you guys all to write us a review, please. Because I want you to see in action right now how leaving a review works. So let's take a second and go do that, and then. My action item for you guys today is, if you don't have a Google business page. Let's help you create one, so that way you can get Google reviews yourself.
Verify it.
Yes. You don't have it right yet?
The address keeps going to the South Ogden office.
And this is a huge value item that you can add to your SOI. So this can be a conversation starter that you use when you're DMing your people on social media, or when you're texting them, or share it to your page to say, hey, I'm a huge advocate of helping my friends, or, partners build their business. Leave a link here for me to leave you a 5-star review, and then I'll send you the link to do mine. But if we want to start getting a good online presence, it's all going to start with really good reviews. There was a stat that was like, I thought I was going to use that, but it was like 97% of consumers who have it, like a 4.5 or more star rating review gets basically all of their business. So if we can get you guys a higher review online, that's going to naturally get you more business too. Did everybody find our page? If you don't like me, just don't bring up me in the video. Kidding. We're using the like method. Well, we're wrapping that up. I am done with this. At the end of this presentation, again, I'm gonna send out these slides. I just have an overview of basically everything that we talked about that Command has available and ready to go. So Command has all of your marketing material that you need, flyers, social media posts, stories, whatever you need. Email templates, postcards, literally everything. We also have Command can help you with your daily tasks as well. So if you have a task list that you want to create for a person, for an opportunity, make sure that you're utilizing the tasks, because that's basically your digital stick-it note or post-it note that's in your Command app. There's a schedule or a social media scheduler. So if you want to take advantage of that tool where you're, planning out your week on a Sunday, post out or schedule out your post to be for the rest of the week or the rest of the month, it'll go out as long as you want it to. And then you can also run paid ads. I think we all know that. And that is a huge opportunity, because if you get really good at understanding how to do a paid ad, you can also have the smart plans convert your leads for you. And with online leads, it's speed to lead. So you can automate everything after you post the ad. So that'll help you with your conversion rates. And then that is all I got. So all of you guys finish writing the reviews. I'm gonna really challenge you guys, like reach out to 5 people today, even or more, and say, hey, do you have a business page that I can leave you a 5-star review on? And then say, okay, I'll leave you a review in exchange. It's all just value, right? That's what I'm gonna challenge you guys with. And then these are some QR codes to resources referenced in this packet. So here's the link to the actual social media playbook. I'll also send out a copy of that in my recap email. This is a link to Command Designs. It's just going to take you straight to the designs page, so you can see all the graphics and everything there. KW Connect, and doing the research for this content, KW Connect, they've got a whole social media resources channel in KW Connect. There was a TikTok one in there that I saw. I didn't look at it, but I was like, hey, like TikTok, Facebook best practices, like whatever, like everything social media, I would definitely use this. If there's anything we didn't talk about today, or a platform we didn't talk about today, go here. And then social media 101 on KW Connect. There is a bunch of helpful resources for any social media platform. So if you need Facebook help, Snapchat help, there's links for all of that. So everything just kind of is in one place together. Was that helpful for anybody? Did it make it not so overwhelming? Hopefully. Any takeaways? Should we share 2 takeaways?
Do you have an app for that teleprompter?
I'll tell you.
While you're looking that up, one other thing on Facebook, when you're looking to connect with people, if you search for their phone number and they have that tied into messaging, you'll find their profile.
I do have something to add.
Yes.
It is an election year. People are gonna get to stay on the internet. Keep your opinions to yourself. Get a like on Facebook. Don't do that to yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
There's a place and a time to have those conversations, and it's not online when you are your brand.
Yep. Yeah.
So we couldn't post pictures of people shaking hands with plants.
Oh, good plans.
Political. That went straight over me.
Okay, well, I hope that was helpful, you guys, and, I'm starting to do more like in-depth social media stuff, so keep an eye out for that on the calendars too. But anything else you guys want to add? We may commit to leaving 5 reviews today for our people. Mom, dad, friend, anybody that you can think of, go online, and even if you leave the reviews, screenshot it and then send it to them and say, hey, I wanna do this for you. Just pass the message along. Post it on your social media and say, hey, leave me a 5-star review and I'll leave you a 5-star review, whatever you want. There was also one more thing I was gonna tell you guys,
No, that's not her.
there was I cannot remember what it's called right now, but there is a tool that I believe that it's free, where you post a review on one page and then it sends it to all of them. All the platforms, Facebook, Google, everything, because each one you have to do individually normally. But there's a platform, it's recommended, and I can't remember what it's called. But I'll send it out in my recap email. If you get this platform, it links up all of your social medias. So if somebody leaves a review on Google, it will also go to Facebook and Yelp and whatever else. It syndicates it.
Satisfied in San Antonio, I don't know.
That's another one, well satisfied. I think you have to pay for that one.
That came with my.
I'll look into it, but I'll get you guys that tool as well. Okay, here's a calendar, you guys can have it, I love you all, and I'll see you on Thursday, bright and early, baby. Red day, yeah, red day, I love it. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Of course, thank you. The app that I found is a teleprompter is what it's called. If you want the teleprompter app.